Lebo Ramafoko is the director at Oxfam, South Africa. She's been looking at issues around gender for many years. Lebo, good afternoon to you. We remember the President's first summit, the huge promises that were made, that government will lead society in trying to end gender-based violence. Has the President, has the government that he leads, lived up to those promises?
Well, not at the pace that this pandemic of gender-based violence requires. So, one of the successes is that we've got a national strategic plan, but the national strategic plan needed that we put in place a council that is actually going to provide the operational framework for the NSP. That has not been done. The IMC is supposed, which is the Inter-Ministerial Committee, is supposed to be meeting and deliberating on the NSP. We have not seen the minutes of the NSP. But even in what the President was saying yesterday, the President did not mention pillar number 1 of the NSP, which speaks to leadership and coordination. And if you listen to some of the statements that have been made around castration, some of the things that the Minister of Police, Bekitele, have said when they have been raped, you actually realize that that pillar is very, very important. So you want to know, how are we coordinating this? When will the council be set up? But also, where is leadership in it? We've seen not only from a point of the people that are in cabinet, but also, when you hear even the leaders that are really speaking about castration, you ask yourself whether or not the people that are speaking out in positions of leadership, political leadership, actually have the kind of mandate that they are having. But not only do they have a mandate, do they have an understanding, a deep understanding of what it will mean in South Africa and how different agencies will have to do in South Africa to make sure that we end gender-based violence and we put those that are perpetrators of gender-based violence, we bring them to book. The other area that the President does not talk about is about research and information management, which is pillar number 6 of the NSP. Very recently, we had the results of the crime statistics being released. And one of the things that activists, like always, were asked about, and I was one of them, about, some of the statistics going down, is that you can't even celebrate that. Because if you understand that only 25% of cases are being reported, and the backlog in investigating those cases, and the complete collapse in the trust that society has on, our criminal justice system, the pile of work that they have, you then ask yourself whether or not even the statistics and the information that we have and the research that we have is sufficient. So one of the other things we would need to do is to talk about improving our research, because if we don't have a data that speaks to the nuances of what is taking place, we are really not going to go far. I mean, one of the other things that we are talking about is just having rape test kits, for an example, to make sure that your ability to investigate is so much stronger.
And Lebo, we're going to run out of time in a minute, but I must ask you, people lead by doing. The Finance Minister, Enoch Godongwana, has been accused of sexual assault. He strongly denies that. The NPA has yet to make a decision. The Presidency has told us on this program that it would be premature for the President to remove him from Cabinet before the NPA makes a decision. Do you have a strong view on what the President should do?
Well, the President should have asked the Minister to step aside until all of these processes have taken place, given the seriousness of the allegations. And again, we have seen the Minister issue a statement talking about this being a smear campaign, not understanding his position and how even that statement was to basically use his position to silence the person that has reported the case. And he should have himself done the right thing and stepped aside until all the processes that needed to be done are done. And the President should have asked him to do that. for us to believe that the president indeed is serious about gender-based violence.
Lebo Ramafoko, thank you, Director at Oxfam SA. Well,